Morning. Where are you? Well, I'm actually in the closet in the shul. So there's 3 minyan going on, or 2 minyan going on, and actually traveling to Tzfat soon. So I figured I'd have a good time, some quiet time to put a little video together. Still Dar Torah for the week, Parshat Vishlach. So it's sort of a continuation from last Shabbos. That Yaakov prepares for Esav. He seems very afraid. And then we see he's not afraid. We see he's very afraid. He has to tefillah, mechama, presence. But they see he's not afraid because when all these three things are done, he goes by himself to look for Pachim Ketanim, and he meets the Malach of Esav. So he was afraid. He wasn't afraid. What's going on here? So first we talk about, the Tzaddik talks about that the preparations that he does makes him less afraid, made him less afraid. He did what he had to do, the shtadlus that he did. After that, when you do what you have to do, your shtadlus that you have to do, you're less afraid, you're more confident that Hashem will take care of you. And these are three things that we know that Avos did. It was davening. We know that we have the Kol Yaakov. We don't have this power of tefillah. We have the power of Melchama. When things have to take place, we have to fight. And we know presence. We're supposed to be mufayis. We're supposed to give presence. The pamphlet that Argona sends out that I read, Rab Scheinberger mentions that this is a normal thing. He quotes the Palestinians. He says that they hate the Jews, but they love money more. So you bribe them, presents. The anti-Semites, you treat them money, presents. They forget about that. They really hate Jews. There's another thought that I think connects from last parsha. My friend Sammy sent me this video of Joey Newcomb. He quotes this crazy Sfas MS that Yaakov went to Gullus last week. That week before, excuse me. So when the Brachos told us Yaakov runs to Lavan, it was an act of Gullus, like he killed somebody. Who did he kill? He killed Esav. Yaakov had a chance to help him with tshuva. He had a chance to really be makar of Esav. He had a chance to do these great things with Esav, and he runs away. And Sfas says this is a little bit what we have. If you have a chance to be makar of someone, if you have a chance to help someone spiritually, and you neglect them, it's like you killed them shogeg. It's like you're chayiv misa. Somewhat, you have to go to Gullus. In this parsha, we see the same thing. We see that Yaakov sends presents to appeal to Esav's good side. The Gemara talks about that Esav was a Talmid Chacham. Rav Meir came from Esav, so Esav definitely had a tzad, definitely had a place of goodness in him, which Yitzchak saw. Esav learned Torah from Yitzchak. Esav did kibbut of aim. Yitzchak was definitely Talmid Chacham, definitely knew the Torah. And even though Esav was a bad dude, most of it, 90% he was a bad dude, Yaakov was trying to appeal to that. And quotes the Ramat Vali that a person has to apply to the good side. And this Rab Scheinberger says this is actually a quote out of Breslov, where you have tzarach l'dan adam kapschus. Tzarach, you have to do this. Even though we know this intuitively, we know we're supposed to judge people favorably. There's always a good side, but you have to search for that. And you see someone in shul or down the street doing something bad. You don't say that they're a Russia. We don't push them away forever. But there's a good side to them. There has to be a good side to them. The Gemara talks about that. Rabbi Yochanan, you would look at someone, and if the person was a total Russia, they would die. They would be burned up. They had no good with them. So no one is walking around that doesn't have a piece of Kedusha with them. If they had no Kedusha with them, they'd be dead. So each person has some good side of them. And that's really our job. Now, Yaakov doesn't end up traveling with Esav. He doesn't end up spending the rest of his life with Esav. But they meet up. Esav goes to Har Seir, and Yaakov goes his own way. He goes to Eretz Yisrael. He goes to Shechem. But be that as it may, you don't have to travel with someone. You don't have to be best friends with them. But you never push somebody away. There's always a chance that this encounter that you have could turn the person for the good way. And perhaps this is a way of Yaakov making amends, even though he neglected him in the previous parsha. And Sfas says he was taken to task for this. He had to go to Gullus for this. This is why Yaakov sends presents. This is why Yaakov sends actual malachim mamish. If I send malachim mamish and I call myself Avdi and I say that I'm not so special, I'm only like an Eved and he is the master, maybe it would appeal to Esav's good side. Unfortunately, this did not take place. Esav made himself higher. We actually Rav. He actually took his level of Balgaiva and made it higher. And even though he could have or should have taken Yaakov's appeal that, if Yaakov is lowering himself, maybe I should know my place. If Yaakov is showing that he's not so special, maybe I should recognize my place and my role in the world, and the brachas that Yitzchak gave me. Unfortunately, this did not take place. But we see, this is the proper thing to do. A person should never turn away from another person. A person should always try to be makar of someone, try to show them, appeal to their good side. Hope this turn them around. And even if it doesn't, you have to make an effort to try as best you can to help somebody. Shabbat Shalom.